in the picture language, you see a house that is supported with two flames, with one flame on the top of it. But when you look at the word image in the Hebrew picture language, it's a house with no support, with two flames that looks like it's being condemned or it's falling apart. Right. So as I really looked at this, here it is. The problem even today is we have image, yes, but no likeness.
But no likeness.
That's it.
And when you just have,
yes,
the image, the two flames is a representative of God and man trying to sit at the head of the house.
Wow.
And what happens when you have two flames trying to rule in one house, the house is going to fall down.
That's it.
So what happens when you have just image and no likeness, you have two flames. And man being trying to rule this house with God is going to cause this house to not be able to stand. Because it was not designed to have two fires consuming it. But when you get to likeness, the one flame that is sitting at the head or the top, meaning headship, is God sitting at the head because he is the one that holds up this house. Right. Now we understand why the Bible talks about how God, when he formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils, at first he was just an image.
Right.
Just a shade. And we know that shade is produced when light is bouncing off of something that is blocking or standing in it. Right. Something that light hits, it produces a shade or a image. Right. Or we say shade, an image, or a shadow.
Right.
Okay, it produces a shadow. When, like, you know, back in the days when people saw shadows, they called them ghosts. Because they saw an image, a shadow, and they would see shadows, and they would say, "I seen a ghost. I saw a ghost," because they would see a shadow, an image. Right? Mm-hmm. So this word created in his image and likeness, God created a house that has no support if he's not sitting at the head.
Wow.
It's a house that's falling apart, and when man tries to sit at the head with God, it's going to cause this house to fall down. And this is the problem that we're having in society today. We have two flames sitting and trying to rule the house that God created for his glory.
That's it.
He is supposed to be consuming this house sitting at the head. Amen. So in the picture language, Moses draws this to show and to reveal to us that having just an image with no likeness is nothing. Right. And this is the problem with the church. We got the image. Right. But we're gonna go a little further to talk about what likeness is. And so now here's a man for us to possess, but he had to be in control of. Amen. And so the problem is when we try to possess the house that God made for himself. Now he wants us to enjoy the house and enjoy the life that he's given us, but not apart from him. Yes. Those two flames are supposed to become one, because everything God touches, he consumes. Right. For the Lord our God is a what? Consuming fire.
Right.
So when God sits at the head, no longer do you see the person. Right. You see God. Amen. Because they are now covered by the flame or the glory. Amen. This is what happened to Adam when he sinned. It caused the house to be condemned, and God could no longer live in it because Adam took dominion over something that he was not supposed to take dominion over. Right. He gave him dominion over the fish, over the earth, but not himself. Right. Amen. Because God rules this house. This is why the Bible talks about presenting your bodies a living sacrifice.
Right.
Holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable act of service, because God wants to live in this house or rule this house from the headship again. He wants to rule this house. Why do the devil, let me, while I'm saying this, why do the devil want the people of God, or he want humanity to focus on image and not likeness? See, everybody is image concerned. Everybody is image driven because they don't understand likeness.
Right.
And because we don't understand likeness, we're image driven. But here's what's important. Gosh, let me pull this up. Here's what's important. Say the believers, and I'm going to deal with us for a moment. Satan wants the believers to be concerned about image and not likeness, because he knows that that likeness deals with the character and the purpose of God being revealed in the life of the person whom God has given life. So what the enemy wants to do is he wants to distort the likeness of God by putting the emphasis on the image of God. On the physical part of us, and having us to focus on the outer and not the inner. So he wants us to change the outer so that we can never focus or discover the inner, because in the inner, or the likeness, is where the purpose is revealed. Bruce Jenner can change his image, but he can never change his likeness.
That's it.
Through all of that, he still sounds like a man. Through all of that,
Born a man. You're still born
he
a man.
still have internal
Exactly.
male components. So he changed the outer,